Did you know that once upon a time, people actually ate Egyptian mummies thinking it could cure their ailments? Yep, this bizarre trend stretched from the Middle Ages into the Renaissance, a time when medical knowledge was pretty limited. Folks genuinely believed that preserved body parts held magical healing powers. European adventurers stumbled upon mummies in Egypt and thought, these ancient bodies must have some seriously potent medicine. This set off the mummy trade, where traders shipped mummies to Europe, grinding them into a fine powder known as mumia, to cure everything from headaches to broken bones. Can you imagine? Mummy powder was even mixed into drinks or sprinkled on wounds. Some went even further, using mummy fat and bones, believing it could transfer life energy. King Charles II of England famously kept powdered mummy with him, convinced it made him smarter. Sadly, many mummies were stolen, and some were fakes made from recent corpses. Thankfully, by the 1800s, science revealed this was more harmful than helpful. The idea of consuming human remains faded as people began to ponder the ethics behind it. Wild, right? In July 1518, a hot day in a small town in the Holy Roman Empire, a woman named Frau Trophaea stepped outside, feeling an urge she couldn't resist. With no music to guide her, she began to dance, wildly and endlessly. It was a peculiar sight, one that left onlookers confused and curious. As if caught in a strange spell, more people joined her over the days, turning confusion into chaos. Soon, men, women, and even children were dancing non-stop in the streets, their faces strained and their bodies shaking. Eyewitnesses described scenes of pure madness, with some dancers collapsing from exhaustion, their feet bleeding from the unyielding movements. In a desperate attempt to understand this bizarre event, city leaders were baffled. Rather than stopping the strange spectacle, they decided to embrace it, building a stage and hiring musicians to help the dancers. But that only fueled the frenzy. As they danced harder, some even succumbing to heart attacks or fatigue. Historians have offered several theories to explain this phenomenon. Some suggest it was mass hysteria, an overwhelming psychological response to the stress of the times. Others think it could have been ergot poisoning, where dancers unknowingly consumed bread tainted with a fungus that causes hallucinations. Still, some believed it was a punishment from Saint Vitus, a saint thought to curse people with uncontrollable dancing. Yet, despite all these ideas, no one can truly say what caused this inexplicable event. After weeks of this frantic dancing, the plague finally faded, leaving behind only questions. Imagine being in that town, surrounded by people dancing, screaming, and sweating, but with no sign of music or celebration. Just the haunting memory of one of history's strangest events. Would you join the dance, or would you run for your life? Imagine walking into a town and finding every single person gone. No signs of struggle, no goodbye notes, just emptiness. This eerie scenario unfolds at Lake Anjikuni, Canada. Let's rewind to November 1930. A trapper named Joe LaBelle, well acquainted with the small Inuit village, was out exploring the area when he felt something was strangely off. As he stepped into the village, he was met with an unsettling silence. Joe peeked into the homes and found half-eaten meals, warm campfires, and dead sled dogs tied up, all victims of neglect. Urgently, he rushed to the nearest telegraph office to alert authorities. When the police arrived, they were astonished. There were no signs of struggle, and even the village graveyard was oddly empty. Theories began swirling. Perhaps they migrated suddenly, or something supernatural happened. Even reports of glowing lights in the sky added to the intrigue. But despite exhaustive searches, no one was ever found. What do you think happened? Share your thoughts and join the conversation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories like this one. See you in the next one, if you don't vanish first. On a cold December day, the eerie case of David Littton began when hikers in Saddleworth Moor discovered a man lying near a reservoir, a chilling sight of mystery. Emergency services rushed to the scene, but despite their efforts, Littton died shortly after reaching the hospital, leaving everyone puzzled. What made this case truly strange were the details. He had no identification, wore brand new clothes, and carried a train ticket from London that was never used. To top it off, there was a small container of strychnine, a deadly poison, raising even more questions about his intentions. As detectives dug deeper, they uncovered his identity as David Littton, a 67-year-old man with a quiet life in Pakistan. Friends described him as intelligent and kind, yet mysteriously private. There were no clear signs of distress, no suicide note, just an unsettling silence surrounding his return to the UK. Even stranger? Litton's death site was near a tragic 1949 plane crash location, leaving us to wonder, was it merely coincidence or a chilling message? As we contemplate the secrets buried with him, the hills of Saddleworth continue to keep their mysteries. In the summer of 1964, a fascinating mystery unfolded in Kentucky when a boy named James Hampton appeared on a bridge. Clad in old, worn clothes and clutching a suitcase, he seemed utterly lost, with no memory of who he was or how he got there. But then, police made a shocking discovery. Inside his suitcase lay a diary filled with detailed, chilling predictions about his own death. As the officers read through the pages, they were struck by James's remarkable insights into events that would lead up to a specific date, the day he claimed he would die. Doctors and law enforcement were baffled, trying to understand how a young boy could know such things about his fate. They worked tirelessly to find his family, but nobody recognized this mysterious boy who had shown up with so many unanswered questions. Tragically, James died on the very day he had written about. Was it a strange coincidence or something deeper at play? What do you think happened to James Hampton? Let me know in the comments below. In early 1959, 9 experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set out on a treacherous trek in the snowy Ural Mountains, led by Igor Dyatlov. They were prepared for the wild, but what happened next became one of history's greatest mysteries. Weeks later, search teams stumbled upon their abandoned campsite on Kholat Syakhl, nicknamed Dead Mountain. The tent was bizarrely damaged, cut from the inside, suggesting that the hikers had fled in sheer panic into frigid temperatures hitting -30 degrees Celsius. It left everyone baffled. As the search continued, the bodies were discovered one by one. Some were only a short distance away, while others were much further up the mountain. They were found half-dressed, and one woman was horrifyingly missing her tongue and eyes. What added to the mystery were the gruesome chest injuries some had, yet there were no external wounds, like they'd faced an unseen force. Over the years, theories have sprung from avalanches and military experiments to even extraterrestrial encounters. Some suggest a Yeti attack or infrasound panic. But despite all the investigations, the real answer remains an unsettling mystery. So what do you believe happened on Dead Mountain? Share your theories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that keep you up at night. On a December morning in 1948, a fisherman meandered along Summerton Beach near Adelaide, Australia, when he stumbled upon a haunting sight. A man lay slumped against the seawall, impeccably dressed in a suit, yet lifeless and oddly serene. Who was he, and how did he end up there? Dubbed the Summerton Man, authorities quickly learned that he had no identification. Even more puzzling, all the labels from his clothes had been removed, as if someone wanted to erase his trace. The only clue found in his pockets was a small scrap of paper with the words "Tamam Shud," a Persian phrase meaning ended. This led investigators to a rare book found in an unlocked car nearby. Inside this book, cryptographers discovered a mysterious code that has never been solved. Was it a secret message or just gibberish? Adding to the mystery, an unknown woman referred to as Jeston claimed to know the Summerton Man, yet the investigation couldn't uncover her identity or the connection they shared. Speculations surrounding his death range from espionage to a tragic love story. An autopsy revealed no clear cause of death or poison, leaving experts baffled. Despite decades of investigations and DNA tests, the true identity of the Summerton Man remains hidden, buried beneath the sands of time, and his story continues to captivate all who hear it. In December 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers vanished from the remote Flannon Isles, leaving behind a deserted lighthouse and a haunting mystery that still resonates with unanswered questions. Their duty was to guide ships safely through treacherous waters, but one stormy winter night, everything changed. On December 26th, a relief vessel arrived at the lighthouse, only to find it eerily empty. No signs of struggle were present, Just an abandoned station, a chair overturned in the kitchen, and strange clues suggesting the men had left in a hurry, with a set of oilskins left behind and a missing lifebuoy, never to be seen again. The lighthouse logbook revealed turmoil, with entries detailing a fierce storm that raged around them. The last entry abruptly stopped, leaving investigators to wonder what might have interrupted the keeper's desperate writing in that moment of chaos. Over the years, theories flourished. Some believed the men may have been swept away by powerful crashing waves, while others speculated about supernatural forces at play, ghosts, sea monsters, or even curses, fueling the enduring mystery that captivated locals and investigators alike. The disappearance of the Flannon Isles keepers remains one of Scotland's most enduring maritime mysteries, serving as a reminder of humanity's fragility against nature's power and the secrets that the sea may forever hold beneath its depths. In December 1980, something extraordinary unfolded in Rendlessham Forest, close to two U.S. Air Force bases in Suffolk, England. This incident has since become known as one of Britain's most famous UFO encounters. It all began on the night of December 26th, when U.S. Air Force security personnel noticed bizarre lights flickering between the trees. At first, they thought it could be a downed aircraft or maybe a military exercise. But as they moved closer, the scene transformed into something completely out of this world. Sergeant Jim Peniston stepped forward, eyes wide as he approached a glowing, triangular-shaped object. Strange symbols adorned its surface, and it pulsed with an eerie light, appearing almost alive. Onlookers described the object zipping through the air at blinding speeds. The next day, military teams investigated the site, uncovering odd indentations in the ground and signs of radiation. Over the next few nights, multiple sightings continued, including strange sounds and equipment malfunctions. This bizarre event sparked theories about secret experiments or alien visitors, leaving many to wonder what truly happened that night in Rendlesham Forest. In the quiet town of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, a renovation crew made a remarkable discovery under the floorboards of an old boathouse. Inside a rusted metal box lay letters, fragile and beautifully handwritten, between a woman named Eleanor and a man named Thomas, revealing a love story long forgotten. Eleanor, the daughter of a wealthy hotel owner, fell for Thomas, a local artist who painted boats and picturesque landscapes around the lake. Their romance blossomed in secret, as Eleanor's father believed Thomas was not worthy of his daughter. The letters overflowed with romance, dreams of escape and promises of love, until suddenly the tone shifted. In her last letter, Eleanor expressed profound sadness, stating, "If you don't come tonight, I'll understand, but I'll never forgive this world for keeping us apart." Tragically, Eleanor disappeared in 1926, presumed drowned in the lake. Around the same time, Thomas vanished too, leaving behind his paintbrush and dreams. Today, visitors near the boathouse report eerie chills and glimpses of a woman in white at dawn, evoking the haunting love that continues to linger along the shores of Lake Geneva.